Alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I want to welcome everybody to our series of Aqidah, or the belief system. And I'm hoping that the new shahadas are in here. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm looking. Yeah, I can. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, I can see you. Yeah, they're texting me saying that they see me. Okay. Let me type this too. This will get the other platforms going. Assalamu alaikum. Because I want my new shahadas to definitely, this is the most important class. This is the most important class for all of my new shahadas and even the old shahadas, because we have to assure that our belief system is correct. Because without having the correct aqidah, the correct belief system, will never be a success in this world and will never be a success in the hereafter. Your good deeds are not going to count or anything. You know, this religion, as Allah says in the Quran, just because you say you believe in me is not enough. The first step is declaring La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. That's the first step in life. But it gets more intense. You are now going to have to spend every day of your life, all the way up until the soul is removed from your throat, proving that you really do believe in Allah and He's the only one worthy of worship, and that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the last and final messenger of Allah, and we are supposed to abide by his example. Every day of your life, since you all are Muslims now, is going to be a test of that. And I want to let you know there's going to be more bad times than good times. More bad times than good times. Just because you're Muslim does not mean that your life is going to change and you're going to go through happiness. This world is not happiness for the Muslim. This world is the paradise for the non-Muslims. Since you are a Muslim, you're going to be tested every day. There'll be more bumps in the road than there are highlights. You're going to be tested with your life, with your health, with your family, with your money, with your love, with everything that is dear to you. Do you understand that? I want all the Muslims listening to understand that you're not going to live in happiness now. We will never experience happiness as Muslims until we cross the bridge over that Sirat bridge into paradise. This world is the testing ground. There'll be a lot of sorrow. There'll be a lot of hurt. There'll be a lot of pain. We have a sister now asking, oh, make dua for me, y'all. No, make dua for yourself. That's another test. All of us are going to go through problems in life. All of us are going through problems now. That is a test. Are you going to call upon Allah? Are you going to turn to Allah and take your problems, your issues to Him? Or are you going to come on the internet and ask people to pray for you when we don't know anything about you? We don't know nothing about what you're going through. Every Muslim is supposed to establish his or her own relationship with Allah. You make dua for you. You ask Allah to help you. Like Allah says in the Quran, I hear the woman who brings her complaints to me. None of us are going through any trials that the companions did that's worse than what they went through. Did they go around saying, make dua for me? No, they handled it. They made dua for themselves. We went over one of the hadiths yesterday, Ibn Umar. He said he lived each day as if it were his last on earth. Okay, we have to develop that strong. Well, so what, Sister Amina? Who isn't overwhelmed? That's part of life. Everybody is going to be overwhelmed. Do you know how overwhelmed I am? I'm running a website and I'm paying. I am an old lady. I have no woman, no man, no child, no animal on this planet that's taking care of me. Seriously. Not my mother, not my daughter, not my grandkids, not my brothers, not my sisters. It's just me, an old woman, living, trying to pay rent, trying to buy food. And in addition to that, I'm trying to do for the sake of Allah. I'm paying out my pocket for this website. I pay a person. Do y'all know I'm paying somebody to do the designs for this website? And even though I'm paying this person, the product is not what it should be. My videos are better. You know, I'm overwhelmed with this website. I'm overwhelmed with my granddaughter. I'm overwhelmed with my mother. I'm overwhelmed. I got health problems. I'm overwhelmed. I got anxiety. I'm overwhelmed. I got women on this web. Who isn't overwhelmed? Plus, I suffer with loneliness too. I wished I had someone that I can say, baby, help me. The same thing you going through. You ain't going through nothing that no other single woman on this planet who's Muslim ain't going through. But do you see me complaining? Do you see me hopping around asking people to pray for me? No, I take my complaints to Allah. And I say, Allah, give me the patience to handle whatever your qadr is. Give me the strength to bear these tests in life, which ain't nothing like what the companions went through. Give me the ability to remain strong and firm and not transgress you. Give me the ability to not fall into sin, to not succumb to my desires. I pray my own dua to Allah. And give me the means to come out of the debt, Allah. Make it possible for me to pay my bills and pay for this website. And I mean, come on, you take it to Allah. That's the problem with you Muslims today. Y'all are apologetic and you weak. You weak because you don't trust in Allah. Man can't help you. My dua for you can't help you. I don't know what you're going through, but you can help yourself. Maybe Allah is putting you through your problems because he's trying to tell you, bring them to me. Bring your problems to me. I'm just a heartbeat away. Bring it to me and I'll help you because I'm the only one capable of turning your overwhelmment into something that you can handle. Y'all need to listen to Allah. Strengthen your faith in him and stop trusting in man and human beings. I can pray for you. So what? Allah, I pray for Amina. What good is that going to do? You better pray for yourself, girlfriend. You better bust them knees on that floor and cry to your Lord like them female companions did. When Salama lost the love of her life, she wasn't going around complaining. When she lost her baby, separated from her husband, she took it to Allah. That's the difference between the Muslims then and the Muslims now. We're weak. We have no wala. We have no Bara. We say that we believe La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, but our allegiance ain't to Allah. It ain't. It's not. So that's why I tell my new shahadas, this is the most important class that I'm teaching, because we have to work on our belief system. Our allegiance is supposed to be to Allah first and foremost. He's the only one that can change your situation. He's the only one that can change the hearts of a human. He's the only one that can be of benefit to you, not me, not him, not her, not anyone or anything else. Y'all understand that? Stop taking Allah for granted. Okay? All right. So that's what this class is about. And today what we're going to do is finish up this ninth chapter. This ninth chapter in this book, El Wala wal Bara, which speaks about the allegiance that we're supposed to have, the loyalty, the devotion we're supposed to have to Allah first and foremost, and then to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then to ourselves and all the other believers. Okay? I have some of my students here. All of us are overwhelmed. I got some students here, who are experiencing losing their parent. One of my students has devoted his entire life to taking care of his mother, his father, his sister. He's a young man. He went to college. He's educated. He's a handsome man, but he's turned down marriage. He could have married, but he knew that had he married, he would have had to deal with that issue of trying to be a husband to a wife and also continuing to care for his elderly father who was sick and his elderly mother who was sick. So this student of mine sacrificed. He did sacrifice, just like Sauda, radiallahu anha, just like Zainab, just like so many other companions. He sacrificed his desire to take care of his parents, to be there for his father in his father's worst time. So he put off marriage all these years, and his father just passed away. His father just passed away. But now his mother, who was also sickly, that's the man of the love of her life. Now he has to deal with trying to get his mother to accept the fact that we were all created to die. We were born to die. None of us will ever live forever. He has to convince his mother he's been sick. You knew this day would come. We all knew that this day would come when Papa will pass away. Abu will pass away. We have to accept the qadr of Allah and keep it moving. We have to accept the qadr of Allah and don't transgress the limits. So this young brother who grew up on my website since he was 12 years old, and now he's 30. He's 32 years old now. He could have married he's from Pakistan. He could have married any beautiful young girl. But he chose to take care of his parents, and he's got to be the strength for his younger sister and his mother to try to get them to accept that Allah is in control of everything. And as Muslims, we have to bend, take a knee to Allah and accept his qadr. So who isn't overwhelmed? This is very overwhelming for this young man. He has desires and needs that he put aside to be the breadwinner of his family. And now he's got to be the rock of Gibraltar for them. There's always somebody else out there, guys, who's facing things that are more difficult than us. I got another student. This is an older woman. She just got out of the hospital after having another heart attack and another stroke. There's no cure for her. No medicine is going to stop her from having a stroke or a heart attack. But she's still sitting in here listening right now and making dua. She's not saying, oh, Layla, I'm overwhelmed. Pray for me. She's praying for herself. And she came out the hospital thanking Allah for giving her another day to come and learn his deen. So who isn't going through something? Who isn't dealing with calamities? The list goes on and on and on. Muslims, you got to man up. You got to woman up and understand that you were born to die. You were created to be tested. This world is the testing ground. Look at me. I'm going through all kind of trials. Y'all wouldn't know. I don't talk about it to nobody here. Maybe I mean Fresno and Latifah, and that's about it. But I'm dealing, even though I'm at a financial destruction. I'm dealing because of this website. SubhanAllah. All right, so the stronger your iman, the greater your faith, you will find it easy to handle the trials of life. Because as a believer, we know that Allah is not going to put any burden on us that we can't handle. If Brother Ahmad could not handle being the rock of Gibraltar for his family, Allah wouldn't have given it to him. If I can't handle providing, maintaining myself and being alone and trying to give the dawah and paying all my little retirement for this, then Allah wouldn't have put me in this situation. Allah doesn't place a burden on any of us that we can't handle. So handle it, people. Trust in Allah and handle it. Make your own supplications. Okay? All right. With that said, let's put the PowerPoint up on the screen. And by the way, it's Sabrina in here speaking about the heart attack. Let me see. Oh, okay. She at the doctor. See, she's back at the doctor again. I forgot. She's at the heart doctor again. All right. So, but anyway, you know, she should be okay, inshallah. All right, let's put the PowerPoint up here. Okay. Okay. This is the where we stopped off in chapter 9 of the book. How to develop love and allegiance and loyalty for the religion of Islam, because this is what happens. Oftentimes when we are faced with a dilemma or a trial or a hardship in life, what do? Instead of it helping us to grow in our iman, we throw in the towel. We start to blame the religion. We blame Allah. It's Allah's fault that I lost my father. It's Allah's fault that my health is bad. I blame the religion. The religion ain't never did nothing for me but give me problems. My life been horrible ever since I've been a Muslim. Ever since I gave up the drugs, gave up the sex, gave up everything, my life's been terrible. That's how we usually react. That's how Shaitan wants us to react. Because Shaitan doesn't want you to realize that you were born to be tested. Okay? So we've been speaking about things that we can do that will take us away from that mentality, away from that mindset, and instead bring us closer to Allah and make us develop love and pride for being a Muslim. I'm proud of my trials because I know that for every hardship that I deal with, if I handle it with patience and if I handle it with dignity, it's a means of Allah purifying me of my sins. So if I should walk out that door, fall down the steps, hit my head, and die, inshallah, all my sins will be forgiven. And I can be a green bird flying around the throne of Allah, looking for Salama, looking for Aisha, radiallahu anha, and the Prophet and all the companions that I love so much. Okay? So we've been speaking about how to develop this type of commitment and allegiance. And we talked about the first number one thing is through education. We have to learn the deen correctly. Not from these popular people on YouTube who don't know the deen. But we have to find bona fide, qualified teachers to sit down and study and learn the deen from. And how can we tell if they're qualified? If everything that they teach us is based directly on the Quran and the authentic hadiths, not fatwa, not what their sheikh told them, not on different opinions. When it comes to different opinions, they'll give us the opinion of the companions, not the opinions of the men and women of today or yesterday. Okay? So knowledge is the key. Learning the truth about our religion, tearing down the misconceptions. That's the number one way to develop love for this religion. We have to get our priorities in order. For the new shahadas here, you know that this class is every day at 6 o'clock. Make it a priority to be here every day at 6 o'clock so you can learn and develop the Muslim identity. Okay? Well, today we're going to speak about some more things we can do. And here's one of them. After we learn, whatever we learn about this religion, we need to transfer it to the next generations. As I tell my students here, share it with your children, share it with your family members, share your knowledge with your friends. That's why I tell my students, take my videos, make little shorts out of them, clips out of them, post them up on TikTok, post them up on Facebook. What you learn from me that you really enjoy, make a 10-minute short or a 60-second short and post it up, share it. Because this becomes a significant way of developing love, not only for Allah, but for this religion too. Okay? And this is also the way that we preserve our religion and its originality. You know, I was looking on, since I'm on YouTube now, doing my lectures, all these people pop up on your screen. That woman is back. I'm like, oh my God, here all the crazy innovators are. This feminist movement. You know, I don't get into the politics of Islam. Y'all know I don't deal with that crap. I don't have time for that ignorance. But it's just, what's her name? Amina Wadud. I said, she's still around. This was the woman, the African-American woman, you know, with a PhD in Islam, the Quran, and they're all blogs, you know, which ain't nothing. Really, she has a PhD in nothing. She's the one that believes that she's the imama and leads men in prayer. Well, she's one of the heads of that feminist movement. And of course, the feminist movement came from out of Egypt, you know, and she's the one that went to Egypt and got a mosque there and leading the men in prayer in Egypt, calling the Adhan. Well, she's one of the heads of that feminist movement. I'm like, this crazy woman's still around. She's still in the news. Because, see, I don't deal with that stuff no more, that politics, the fighting, the debating that these brothers are into and the slandering. But that woman, I'm like, oh, she's the head. Well, now it makes sense. She was the one that started that movement of women being the imam and leading men in prayer. You know, ignorance. But she's popular. She's got millions and millions and millions of followers. Some of you are on her channel listening to her. Oh, yeah, because YouTube shows where your subscribers, the channels they go to. Some of you are listening to her. This woman is a renegade. This woman is so ignorant. She don't know that a woman cannot lead a man in prayer. She don't know that Allah gave us women rights centuries ago. But she's got more followers than me or anybody else I know. Subhanallah, that's the life of the innovator and the deviator. Okay? You guys need to seek true knowledge of this religion. The knowledgeable people are not the people with all the followers. If they got millions of followers, that should tell you that something's wrong, because Shaitan has more followers than Allah. Y'all need to listen to the people that ain't got but 2 followers. Those are the ones speaking the truth, because the people don't want to hear the true Islam. They want to hear the watered down garbage that people like this ignorant woman is bringing. Okay? So seeking true knowledge of this religion, and then when you learn the truth, which is based on Quran and the authentic hadith, pass it on and pass the hadith on with it, because this is what's dying out. Is the sunnah. The sunnah is becoming replaced with Islamic fatwa, Islamic verdicts, Islamic opinions from men and women of today, instead of what the prophet said. Okay, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So by transferring the knowledge over to the next generations, that helps you to not only preserve the religion in its authenticity, but it also helps to develop love for this religion in your heart, and you're passing it on to others. And remember, guys, you will hear women like this Wadud woman and her followers. One of the things that she's always said is that, what happened then, those were the medieval period. The Prophet Muhammad came in the medieval period. Things have changed since then. We have technology now. We have things that they didn't have. This is how ignorant she is. She believes that the religion has changed, that some of the laws Allah said in the Quran are outdated. They don't apply to today. Some of the things that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said about women don't apply because we're in different times. The reality is, remember, Allah perfected this deen for us. The prophets, everything he said, nothing ever gets old. Nothing ever dies. The problems we are faced with today are the same narcissistic problems that the people were facing in the dark ages. In fact, they're worse today. The technology has made the situation worse. Okay? So, again, take what you guys are learning, the true, authentic Islam, and share it with others. Your family. Remember, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us that charity begins at home. Save your soul and your families. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning. O you who believe, save yourselves and your family from the hellfire, whose fuel is men and stones. So again, take everything that you learn, including these hadiths with the correct meaning that I'm giving you, and share them with your family. Okay? And this becomes a way of developing love for this religion, for yourself and for others, guys. We have to understand that devotion to the religion will cause you to actively participate in not only seeking education, but also in nurturing the younger population. It'll make you women want to stay home and take care of your children. When you see and learn the beauty of this religion, when you learn and understand that Allah's laws were for our betterment, then you would do like those young girls at the Starbucks where I live do. You would start covering up. I went up there today. They're covering up because they understand it wasn't a punishment. You will understand that when Allah said your home is better for you and your main role as a woman is to raise your children, you would do that. You become a role model, a mentor, and a guide by teaching your children not only the secular knowledge they need, but the Islamic knowledge, okay? To be proud of who they are and what they are. Okay, so again, guys, sharing this knowledge with your family, that will help to develop a love for this religion. And also, way to develop love for this religion outside your family to it, but not the way you see these men on YouTube doing, not the way you see these brothers doing on the street corners. Now, I ain't for that. The companions didn't do that. No, no, no. Not by arguing and debating with Christians, not by arguing with other Muslims, calling this brother innovator, calling that sister a deviator, because their belief is they don't agree with you and they don't agree with your teachers and all that dumb stuff. No, 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 no. But by calling the people to the religion the way the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did, the way the companions did. Subhanallah, Islam began in Arabia. Arabia was the most barren place on earth. Why didn't Allah send it to the Romans? Why didn't Allah send it to the Greeks? Why didn't Allah send it to the Europeans? He chose the Arabs because they would be more receptive to it, because their life was a life of struggle. The Romans had it too good. They had it too easy. The Persians had it too easy. The Greeks had it too easy. Even the Europeans had it too easy. But the Arabs lived in the desert where nothing grows. Terrible heat. And they had to struggle. And it's a proven fact that people who experience hardship, their hearts are more receptive, more open to the truth than people who live the life of Riley with riches. Okay. And when Islam came to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, at first the Romans, the Persians, the Egyptians, they said, this man crazy. He ain't nothing but a little sand dude. He from out the sand. They ain't got no culture, no manners. What can he tell us about anything? Them some poor people. Don't nobody even want to go to that part of the world. Wasn't nobody interested in conquering Arabia. You know, the Romans conquered everywhere except Arabia. What's there? Ain't nothing there. Bunch of sand and rocks, ugly mountains that's scary. But subhanallah, when the Romans, when the Persians, when they met the Prophet, they were impressed. First of all, with his appearance, because he was of dignity. He was of humility. And then his behavior, how compassionate he was, how empathetic he was, how understanding he was, and how mannerable he really was. That's when they listened. And then when they listened to what he had to say, they were impressed. And that's how he invited to Islam. That's how his ambassadors invited to Islam. They didn't invite by arguing, debating. He didn't pick up the Bible in one hand and the Quran in the other and go through the Bible and pit them against each other. He simply told the people the Bible doesn't exist anymore. He said, I'm not going to debate with you. Your book has been replaced. Your book was replaced with this, the Quran. And whatever good was in your book, it's in the Quran. Ask me. He told him, ask me about anything from your book. When those companions migrated to Abyssinia, tell me about Mary. They quoted the whole scripture of Mary from the Quran. Tell me about Jesus. What does the law say about Jesus? When the Jews approached the prophet, what are the 10 commandments? The prophet told them, thou shalt not. Whatever good Allah put in those other books is in the Quran. And he taught the companions that there is no need to refer to those books because you don't know if what you're referring to is truth or falsehood. All you need is this, the Quran, and my explanation, the Quran and Sunnah. And he also taught the companions, dawah is not through this, because you can make mistakes with the tongue. You can say things that are not correct with the tongue. True dawah is from your behavior, your character, your morality. And that's why he said, I was sent to teach you good character, good morality. And by teaching you good character and good morality, in turn, I am teaching you Islam, which is total submission. So this becomes an excellent way of developing love for our religion, because when you are inviting others to Islam, you're also reinforcing within yourself your belief system. When I go to Starbucks and I see those 5 Muslim girls, they all wearing hijabs now, and they done went out and bought some abayas too, y'all. I think it's cute. I said, I'm going to get Latifah, and I'm going to take Latifah up there to meet my girls. Because before, when I first moved over here and was going to Starbucks, I didn't know they were Muslim. I went there and ordered me my venti, white chocolate mocha venti with caramel drizzle, and they knew who I was. Oh, that's lailanasheeba. She's on TV. Oh my God, you're so pretty. Oh my God, you are so beautiful. Oh, your hijab. I'm like, I was scared to death, because y'all know I got anxiety, social anxiety. But then when I said, oh, you listen to me? They said, yeah, you live here. I said, yeah, I'm down the street. And I said, where's your beautiful hijabs? I said, you girls are so beautiful. Where's your hijab? Now they wearing hijab. They ain't wearing them straight leg pants no more with their breast out, the Cardi B girls. They don't even have their hair weaves. They got on hijabs now and went and bought them some abayas. It's so cute. Okay, that's dawah from your behavior, from your action, man. You know, proud to be a Muslim. I'm proud to cover up. Cardi B ain't got nothing on lailanasheeba. Hello, Cardi. Look where Cardi got to go to be beautiful. I ain't got to do that. I'm covered up. If I wasn't covered, it's even better. Hello, and ain't no surgeries. It's the real McCoy. No surgeries. Hello. You know, so again, and by me, you know, when I explain to the girls why we wear hijab and where I got my clothes and all that, it also reinforces the love for Islam in me. I'm proud to be Muslim. I love Allah. I love the Prophet. I love the companions. I love the fact that Allah chose me, because he didn't have to. We forget that Allah chose us to be Muslims. When Allah created Adam, he ran his hand across his back, and that's when the souls of his descendants appeared. All of our souls appeared then. And that's when Allah said, these souls of your people are destined for hell, and the souls on this side are destined for paradise. So I thank Allah for when he created my soul, he put me on the right and said, that soul of your descendant will be in paradise, because I could have been on the other side. How many of y'all think of it like that? I did the story of Adam, alayhi salam, for y'all. Y'all need to take all these classes I'm teaching and put them in your head together. You know, you could have been the soul on the left, destined for hell. You overwhelmed with life. What are you overwhelmed with life for? Allah created your soul and put you on the right. You should be thankful for that, instead of feeling sorry for yourself. This is the problem. We feel sorry for ourselves. Instead of feeling sorry for yourself and licking your tears and crap, get up and thank Allah for putting your soul of the right, not on the left, for making you Muslim, a person of paradise. Because you could have been like them other people, a person of hell. You know, so again, when we give dawah to others, we're also reaffirming within ourselves our love for this beautiful religion. It helps reaffirm our love for Allah and the wisdom And then it will encourage you. It will encourage you to approach others with courtesy and compassion. It will encourage you to show the world that we Muslims are not what they say we are. We're better than that, okay? Through our actions, okay? Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning. Invite to the path of your Lord with wisdom and fair preaching, and contend with them more effectively, because indeed your Lord is aware of those who have strayed from his path, and he is the most aware of those who have been guided. Subhanallah. So in this verse, Allah is commanding us to invite people to our way of life with prudence, with gentle persuasion, not argumentation, and sound logic. It also encourages us to participate. If you're gonna have a discussion about your religion, like I had with those young girls when I first moved here as to why I wear hijab and I'm Muslim, and they were Muslim and didn't wear it. When you do discuss it in a respectful, effective way, and always give the evidence. Always give the evidence from the Quran and the Hadith. Okay? This is how you call people to this way. Does everybody understand that? And by doing that, it'll help you to again reaffirm your commitment to Allah. And then another thing we can do that will help to develop love, in addition to inviting others, and in addition to sharing our knowledge with our families, is to show respect for this religion. Show respect for our religious symbols. And what are the religious symbols of Islam? Number one, the Quran. Respect the Quran. The Quran holds the most significance in our lives. The Quran is the word of Allah as revealed to the prophet through the angel Jibreel. The Quran is our ultimate source of guidance and knowledge. Okay? As Allah tells us in the interpretation of the meaning, this is a book which we have sent down to you full of blessings, so that you may ponder over its words, and that the men of understanding may remember. And that's the key, may remember. So we respect this book. When we read the Quran, we ponder its meaning and we apply it to ourselves. Okay? This verse instructs us that we should study and contemplate the words of Allah, not just learn how to sing them. And this is the problem today. Anybody can sing the Quran. Hit it. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We can all sing it. Do you know what it means? Do you know what you're saying? Do you really understand what those words are saying? Are you living it? Ghayril maghdubi alayhim. Are you really implementing that in your life? Are you living it? That's the question. So by pondering the meaning of the Quran, implementing it in our life, this will help us to develop love for this religion, because the Quran answers all questions. The Quran is the words of Allah. All his laws are fair. All his obligations are for our betterment. You know, so respect the Quran. That's the first symbol. And then also, listen at this. The Prophet ﷺ himself held the Quran in high regard. He encouraged us to learn it and teach it to others. And when he says learn it, not just sing it like y'all are doing. Everybody can sing the Quran and memorize it by heart. But teach it. Know the meaning. Are you teaching the meaning? Do you know the meaning of it? Listen to what Uthman ibn Affan said. He said, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, the best of you are those who learn the Quran and teach it to others. This is what Dr. Asim does. Dr. Asim, he's not just a Quran Tajweed teacher. He's not just teaching us how to read the Quran, but he's teaching us how to reflect upon the meaning. That's what his class is every Saturday, to reflect upon the meaning of those words and how do those words impact you in your life. That's how you teach the Quran, not how to sing, how to take the meaning and apply it to yourself. These are the people who receive the reward, the ones who learn it and teach the meaning to others. Okay? So again, respect the Quran. Listen to what Allah says in the interpretation of the meaning. Indeed, in the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you have an excellent example for anybody who has hope. Again, in the Quran, Allah lets us know that we need to look at the behavior and the saying of the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he's the best example for us. We got Muslims today who think it's all about learning the Quran. It ain't about the hadith. This is garbage. This verse here proves them to be idiots. The Quran is nothing without the example of the Prophet, because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a walking, talking Quran. His character, his behavior was a walking, talking Quran. So when we look to his life and his teachings, you know, we're able to handle the trials. We know that everything here is a test. We know that if we handle them with dignity and without transgressing the limits, it'll be a purification of us. We also learn that the Prophet Muhammad was a man like us. He was human like us. He made mistakes when it came to everyday life, but no mistakes when it came to the religion. And this is why he told us, do not exaggerate my status like the Christians did with the son of Mary. I am just a human being and a servant of Allah. So refer to me as the servant of Allah and his messenger, not a God. So we learn his example. Yes, he made mistakes, like he turned his back on the blind man. Yes, he made mistakes, but not when it came to the religion. We obey him in everything he said about the religion. Okay? So that's another sign. That's another symbol of the religion. The Quran is the symbol of the religion, and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is too. And also another symbol of our religion are the masjids. As Muslims, we're supposed to respect the masjids because they are the houses of Allah. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the mosques are the most beloved places to Allah, and the markets are the most disliked places. So we respect the masjid. We keep it clean. We go there for our prayers. We teach our children to respect the masjid too. And if we're traveling, 3 masjids, if we're in that part of the world that we travel to see, are the mosque in Mecca, the mosque in Medina, and the mosque in Jerusalem. Okay? So we honor the symbols of our religion. And the symbols of our religion are the Quran, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the masjids, guys. You go to the masjids today, look at how the kids have no respect. The women, that's why I don't go to the mosque. Every time I go to the mosque, the women act stupid. The last time I went to the mosque was last summer. And women were in there banging their head up against the wall and falling on the floor. I'm like, you women are crazy. This supposed to be Juma. Crying, doing the khutbah. I don't know what was going on, but I ain't been back. I don't go to the masjids because they're not respected. They're not places of worship. They're not places of devotion like they're supposed to be. I heard some of the masjids got sex going on. Oh, yeah. I heard some of these masjids, they be out there smoking weed and selling drugs outside the masjid. Oh yeah, people are going to pay for that stuff. All right, so this completes chapter 9 of this book. And what I'm going to do now is give you guys a quiz. And then tomorrow, we're going to go into chapter 10 of this book. So let me put the quiz up. Let's see who all was paying attention. Get your microphone turned on. Put the food down and answer these questions. Okay? Let's look at the first question. How best can we transfer Islam to the next generation? In other words, what are some things we can do to teach the next generation, to transfer our way of life to the next generation? What are some things we can do that will transfer Islam in its truthfulness to the next generation?
By teaching others what you have learned about the deen, and also showing in your action, the way you behave, the way you dress, the way you walk, the way you approach yourself, the way you carry yourself.
MashaAllah, she gave the correct answer. Who was that? Shamsa?
Yes.
MashaAllah, good job. Simply by teaching, sharing what you learn to others and your behavior. Go ahead, Tony.
This is Amira, but you can give them your website.
Exactly. As Sister Amira said, also share who you're learning from, because it's hard to find people of the Sunnah. This is a good answer. See, the children. It's hard to find a person that's teaching Islam and its truthfulness, especially on YouTube. You got all these millions of Muslims talking about Islam. How many of them are talking about the true Islam, the traditional Islam? That woman Wadud calls herself a progressive Muslim. She don't teach traditional Islam. She calls herself a progressive Muslim with her innovative self. You know, so share. When you do come upon people who are teaching Islam and its truthfulness, share it. Share this website with others. Good job. Let's see what they had on YouTube. What question answers. Oh, I forgot I got YouTube. Wait a minute. Let me find YouTube, people. Okay, there y'all are. Okay, YouTube, I forgot about y'all. Yeah, you guys can type too. I got the screen open so I can see your answers now. Good job. Okay, let's look at the next question. Y'all did good on that one. Question number 2. Which is most effective in instilling pride and love for the religion of Islam, and why? Which one of these is most effective? Dawah through the tongue or dawah through actions? Which one is most effective and why?
I would say dawah through actions, because people tend to look at how you deal with things, how you walk in life, and you know, if they're impressed with that, they will follow that, and they will try to emulate that. As far as dawah through the tongue, we can say anything out our tongue, but if our actions are off, people tend to judge us, call us a hypocrite. So that's not effective. So dawah through the actions is most definitely the greatest teacher.
MashaAllah, good job. See how she answered that? Y'all doing good today. Y'all must have liked my lecture today. MashaAllah, exactly. Dawah through the actions. And I ain't got nothing to add. She told y'all why. People talk the talk, but do you walk the walk? Once a person discovers you as being a hypocrite, they ain't gonna listen to you. What would I look like sitting here telling you sisters to cover up, to not go out the house showing your body? And I got up and left out of here and took off my hijab, combed my hair down, put on my hot pants and my tank top. Hello, Layla got back. Baby got back. And I walked out the door saying, I got back too. Everybody's into baby got back. Ain't that what they call it today? Is it still baby got back? Or is that the 80s? Latifah, I'm still in the 80s. Baby got back. What is it now if they ain't saying baby got back? Oh, I'm all about that bass, That's what it is now.
They say she got a cake.
Oh, okay. But I just remember it's all about that bass, know something. But what if I did that? That's a hypocrite. All it's going to take is one time. You call yourself giving dawah. That's what's happening to these famous personalities. Look how all these sheikhs and imams and muftis are being knocked down, because they talk the talk, but they ain't walking the walk. And when you get to talking the talk and people start following you, they look for your mistakes. And all it takes is one slip up that you know you ain't supposed to be doing. And next thing you know, they done with you. So it's through the actions. The most effective dawah is what we do on a regular basis through our actions, man. That's why I don't never talk about religion to people, except on the internet. When in my real personal life, I'm all about that base, and all about representing the right way. You know, I make sure I look good when I walk out this house. That's dawah. I'd never want people to think that Muslim women are shabby. That bothers me. When Kafir women make statements like, I don't want to be that religion. You can't even be pretty. I don't want to be a part of that religion. Y'all can't even comb your hair. I don't want to be in that religion. Y'all look like bag women. Nuns look better than y'all. That bothers me. Always have since I was a kid. So that's why I always make sure that I am dressed nicely and beautifully. And my face is together too. I keep my face together, so you can see I'm all about the beauty, hello too. But it's in moderation. Unlike Cardi B, my beauty is in moderation. I got on makeup. I got on coho. All I got on is coho. And it's in moderation. Hello. Good job. Dawah through your actions. Okay, what about this question? Me in my 80s. Baby got back. That was back in the 80s. Now it's about that bass. Okay, Allah says in the Quran, invite to the path of your Lord with wisdom and fair preaching and contend with them effectively. What are the rules Allah is telling us to abide by when calling others to this religion? What is Allah basically telling us? These are rules that he's giving us. What are the rules in plain, simple English that he's given us to abide by when it comes to calling to Islam? This is reading comprehension, and it's in English.
His rules, his laws, what he legislated.
Yeah, what is it he's saying? What are the rules he's saying?
You have to follow the Quran and the Sunnah.
You mean as in a way of approaching the people?
Yeah, just break these words down in plain, simple English terms, in other words. Invite to the path of your Lord with wisdom and fair preaching. What does that mean?
Not being an extremist, like a soapbox at the corner. How these people do when they stand on the soapbox and they're trying to push it in your head. Like you're supposed to put, like how some of the Israelites do at the corner. So not with extremism, on the middle path, We're not supposed to sit there and beat people in the head to accept what we accept. You know what I'm saying? That's not what we're supposed to do.
Exactly. And contend with them more effectively. In other words, be calm, not argumentative. Like you said, don't force this religion on people. Don't try to tell them that their way of life is nothing. Do it with fair preaching, good preaching, compassion, empathy. Not trying to discredit them and put them down and their books down, because their books don't exist anyway. So we don't see this. That street corner dawah that all these videos out, these famous brothers, I'm sorry, those brothers could never give dawah to nothing around me, because they're not representing this at all. This is not the way Islam teaches us to be, the way that they are. Okay, what about this? Last question. What are the symbols of our religion that should be respected? What are the symbols of Islam?
The Quran.
The Quran is one. What are the other symbols of our religion?
The hadith.
And what is the hadith? In English. When we talk about hadith, what are we talking about? Go ahead, Tony. Amira.
The Sunnah of the Prophet.
Okay, what does the Sunnah mean in English? Break it down. I want y'all to give it in English so y'all know what it means.
The teaching of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.
When we say the Sunnah or the hadith, what is the hadith or Sunnah referred to about the Prophet?
His teaching or sayings.
Is it his teachings? Okay, the hadith, Sunnah means the sayings and doings, his actions, behavior, the things the Prophet Muhammad said and the things the Prophet Muhammad did. That's hadith. That's Sunnah. Y'all understand? How he behaved, how he reacted, and the things he told us to do. So the symbols of the religion, the first symbol is the Quran. The second symbol are the sayings and the doings of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And what's another one?
The masjid.
Exactly. The masjids. The masjids are the symbols of this religion. They're the houses of Allah, and they're maintained by the believers. We got to be more respectful of these masjids, especially you women. First of all, you women get more blessings keeping your hard heads at home. I don't know why. You go to the mosque screaming and hollering and banging your head doing the khutbah. I mean, I ain't never seen such nonsense. I'm sitting there with Dr. Jamali's wife, Aeen. She was there. The women come in banging the wall with their head. Another woman comes in and just starts screaming, ah, and fell on the floor. Then another woman came in and started talking in Arabic, walking up on Aeen, Dr. Jamali's wife, like she was some jinn getting ready to beat her up. So I assumed the position, and so did Aeen. Aeen assumed the position, and so did I. You know, these women crazy. I don't know why you women don't stay at home with your mental illnesses. And we ain't even talk about the ones with the perfume on. You come in there, it smells like some belly dancing place. You know, the houses, the mosque are the houses of Allah. We're supposed to respect them. Oh my God, I ain't been to no mosque after that. I'm like, these people crazy. You never seen they worse than my clients. He'd be locked up. All right, so mashallah, you guys did a good job answering the question. Now see what they had on Facebook. On Facebook, they said, calling with good speech and justice. Exactly. Calling with good speech and justice. Sharing beneficial knowledge. Dawah through action. Good job, Halima. What do she do if she say her prayers, then right after go to the bathroom and found out she started her period? She don't do nothing because Allah don't hold you accountable for what you don't know. She just don't pray no more prayers. That's it. Good job. She don't do nothing. It happens a lot. Used to happen to me all the time. I'm like, what the heck? Ugh. You don't do nothing. Okay, any other questions?